Hey everyone, I wanted to try something out here and basically commentate over a recorded game I had, and try to sort of talk about what went into it and why it went so well. So I'm gonna play this out. I'll end up playing it actually at
Let's do it.
yeah, I'm gonna end up muting the VOD. So this is an AD Kog'Maw game. This is ranked fives duo queue, and I'm not playing. My hands aren't here. I'm just going to commentate over how the game went and what I'm trying to do. So, first things first, let's talk about Arena Mastery build. This is pretty much standard for any non-caster or non-physical caster. AD carry is attack damage reds, flat armor yellows, flat magic resist blues, lifesteal quints. You might do armor pen reds if you're someone like Misfortune or Graves. Lifesteal quints are pretty much standard though, and then attack damage are people like Vayne or Kog'Maw who, they'll make use of the attack damage just fine, but they don't really care about their ability spell damage very much. So all I'm doing here is kind of camping down in the brush, waiting around. Kog'Maw in general is a more defensive laner. He actually can play aggressively. His W gives him good range. His E has a slow, but he's not like Misfortune caliber. Misfortune can easily auto trade and do a lot of damage. Kog'Maw is a little bit more specialized, but he can participate very easily. He can sit there and try to farm and be defensive, and then come end game, he can do a lot better. Obviously as Kog'Maw, but also just in general in lane, you can fight people. So what I'm doing right here is I am at least a single target jungler, so I am trying to get rid of these small wolves. They're only worth 4 gold and like 3 experience, so you don't actually hurt your jungler at all, but you speed him up and make him not take damage. So anytime I'm like, it's not like Nautilus or Maokai or something like that, I will go ahead and hit these smaller wolves and just kill them. Like, no one cares if you steal small wolves. There, I lent about 4 or 5 auto attacks. That's about all you can do without sacrificing gold or XP in lane. You'll see as I walk down, I'll actually split last hits with Janna right here. She gets one, I get the other. You can only lend about 4 or 5 auto attacks and you have to peace out. I'm also doing 2109 masteries. I am getting the mana regen and buff duration here, and I'm just last hitting. So what I have to do here, though, this is actually difficult, and I'm not doing this very well, is so she has headshot. You can see when her gun glows, she does bonus damage. You really don't want to take that damage; that'll poke you out. So you see, I take an auto attack there, and I want to only take 1 auto attack per last hit. That should be all I'm taking. If I take more than 1 auto attack, it's not worth it. Give it up. That's the general rule of thumb, and that works in solo lanes. Right here, I take 1 auto attack, no big deal. And again, I'm hiding towards the back. She has headshot, and I screw that one up. Right, I hit too early. I take a headshot. Janna shields me, so it's not that big of a deal. But again, here I am. Like, I use W now. I turn my W on for bonus range. That helps me not take damage. And again, I have good mana regeneration. I have 9 points in utility, so I can do that, and it's not too bad. So Janna's doing a very good job here of shielding on time properly. I take a Q I shouldn't have. But all I'm trying to do is last hit. I put the E down. What I'm looking at right here, though, is that my wave is smaller than theirs. Their wave will start pushing towards us. And now we're at the point where we can no longer contest, right? They've pushed out in front of us. They're in front of us. We can't go in for last hits. Now we need to be defensive. And so I'm sitting back and, trying not to eat a trap, because if I eat a trap, I get hit by Piltover Peacemaker. And I'm just trying to last hit. So there's the auto attack, and I take a hit back. And that's fine. I'm going to keep doing that over and over again. With 6% lifesteal, I get decent health back, and I have the little bit of health I get back as well from the Doran's Blade, but I'm taking damage overall, and I'm just trying to last it. You can see that I'm down to half, and this is pretty easy. That was actually a mistake by Janna. She wakes that one up too early. But generally speaking, right, it's 1 auto attack, and then you can last hit. Caster minions, it's 2 turret shots, and you can last hit melee minions. And so I lasted about half of those. It's not great. I'm falling behind, but this is going to happen. We're against Tarek Caitlyn. That's how this lane works. What I'm trying to do here, though, is actually land as many basic attacks as possible when Kate's not shooting me. Unfortunately, she does a very good job of shooting me, but because I have lifesteal and life on hit, I'm trying to land basic attacks whenever I can, just to get health back up. Because she's already pushing, I don't have to worry about pushing the lane down and zoning myself out. I can just simply try to last it. So again, I have to sacrifice these minion kills. I'm not allowed to get them. I just try to use my E to last hit right there. I actually screwed that one up. So I'm missing last hits. And again, I see Tarek, and I have to be afraid again. But I just try to put in auto attacks again. If I can hit a minion twice and kill it, I'll do it, because that means about 10 more life. They go in onto Janna, so I try to deal damage here. Unfortunately, I vastly underestimated Caitlyn's damage output, and she just turns back to me very easily. But I thought she was tuttling on Janna. I can land some free attacks. I turn on W. It just didn't quite work. So again, I use E. I get both those minions, And now I'm pretty much at the point where I'm screwed. I got enough money to buy a Vamp Scepter, and I'm like, great, let's go now. I'm going to buy a Vamp Scepter now, get that 10% extra lifesteal, buy a potion. I end up buying two. I don't need to. But I feel so fearful in this lane that I'm just trying to get some lifesteal and stay alive. I could have gone second Doran's Blade. Doran's Blade boots is 825. I spent 870. That could also work. Um, at this stage of the game, you actually get about as much from a Doran's Blade as you do from a Vamp Scepter. You get similar life on hit, the exact same damage. But I just wanted to go Vamp Scepter because I felt like I would actually use the lifesteal over the course of the game. That actually might not even be true. I would have to remember what champions they picked to see if I wanted lifesteal to fight. But I bought a Vamp Scepter. Again, I guess it's worth 9 life on hit compared to only 5 from a Doran's Blade. So to be fair, actually, I'm getting more out of the Vamp Scepter. And again, she shields me, which makes it easier to last hit. I have enough damage anyway, though. One thing to keep in mind, when you only have one damage item, you actually need to warm up some of the minions. By that I mean, caster minions have about 300-ish health, we'll say, and if a turret only does 200 damage, you have to deal 100 damage to last hit a caster minion. Oftentimes you don't have enough damage to do that, or the turret doesn't hit hard enough, or the caster minions have too much health, whatever. Sometimes your support has to hit the minion once for you in order to make sure that that happens, or you need more damage. Once you have Longsword and Doran's Blade, you usually have enough at that point, and it's usually pretty easy for you. That's a very, very general rule of thumb, but it oftentimes works. Again, hitting the cannon minions from far away. I use Q right there to last hit. These are going to be very hard to kill. And actually, okay, so these I can all get. Actually, no, they're all slightly too low. I take that back. Because I've had so many points in E, they hit the entire wave, and they all got a little bit too low to last hit, so I actually lost all of those. So again, there's that 100 damage thereabouts, right? I did about 125 with the E, which put them too low to last it with a single auto attack. So again, I'm just playing the laning phase. There's nothing special going on. My support is warding. I'm staying very far back, and you see I walk forward to last hit, and then walk backwards again. Right? Because I'm not the one in control, I'm overextending to last hit and then getting right back out. And it's very, very important to do that and make sure that you position well and don't take damage. So again, I'm in this state. Again, I use E this time because I'm afraid of Caitlyn. At this point, I feel like Tarek has left the lane because he's hiding so much. And then I see, no, he is back. I didn't want to risk it, but I was like, okay, maybe it's just a 1 versus 1 right now. Caitlyn was playing more afraid. I think she might have been baiting. Either way, it didn't work out. And it's really not on me to make any moves anyway. It doesn't really matter what I do. And also, like, now that I'm level 6, most times as Kog'Maw, you can harass with your ultimate. You can actually do a lot of damage and poke down your opponents, but they have a Taric support, and Taric support does a lot of damage. I blocked the ultimate there, and I think I can fight Caitlyn, and I'm wrong. I take a whole bunch of damage here. I could have flashed, and I didn't, because I thought I'd be safe, and I end up getting dunked by Taric right there. I didn't realize how much damage he'd have available to him, and he ult W'd me. But yeah, so basically, right, they went on to the Janna, so I popped W, I popped E, and I went for Caitlyn, and I thought, okay, great, I can fight, I can do damage there. Um, and then I ended up just overextending because I didn't do enough damage and Taric did a lot. But what I was talking about with the Kog'Maw ultimate though is um, basically if you're not against heavy sustain, like let's say you're fighting like Ashe Janna or something, or support Lulu, support Leona, any not Taric, not Sona, or Alistar, any of the healer supports, Sirach, etc. Um, you can harass with your ultimate, and especially when you go 9 utility, you have that 3 extra mana regen, that 3 MP5. You're not spending mana on much else, right? Generally speaking, once you're level 6, you actually fight pretty well as Kog'Maw. And so I can sit there and just like press R and click on a guy, and just deal damage, like 120 damage per ult. Like 10 shots kills someone unless they lifesteal and regen back. And so all I try to do is either time the last hits or time their movement patterns, and just poke them with my ultimate whenever I can. And it's a really, really effective harass tool. But with Taric on the team, with Caitlyn having so much safety, and a Vamp Scepter, I don't feel like I can do any damage, so I just decided to save my mana and be at full at all times. So here again, I'm sitting in the back. I'm just trying to last hit. I'm not even trying to push because I don't feel like I'll get to her turret in time. And sure enough, there's Caitlyn. I don't want the lane to push. She Qs. That kind of hurts. I pop my ulti. I get some damage onto her. Now I pop W. But I end up not actually having a window there, so that ends up being a waste. And again, I'm wave clearing and then I'm trying to back. I'm not sure what I'm trying to buy. I think it's just Berserker's Greaves, but um, because I don't have my support in my lane, I don't really want to sit in lane very much. Um, and so I'm just running around and I wave clear and then pick up I just wave clear and pick up Berserker's Greaves. So I've put 3 points in E early on. Again, this was my long range farming tool, stopping the push, keeping myself alive. You can see 62 to about 78. I'm down a little bit in minions, but it's not terrible. That's about what you would expect for Kog'Maw versus Caitlyn. The death I could have avoided, but either way. And so I put a lot of points in E to stop the push and to last hit from range, because once you get more than like 65 base damage, you can actually last hit multiple things. I use my ultimate to last hit there. Note that the ulti only does about 60 damage at rank 1 to minions, so you don't actually last hit very well with that. It's one thing to keep in mind. But I get the slow beam off, I get the slow onto Taric, then I start putting damage onto Kate. You can see I'm leading her with my ultimates. Those are very easy to hit. I get the kill right there. I saw my teammates coming in from the jungle. In fact, I'm gonna slow that one. I'm gonna go back on that one and kind of explain the fight there. Okay, so Zed's coming down, right? And I'm in a 1 versus 2 right here. But let's watch for when something important happens. So I notice they're chasing Taric, right? I put the ult down, I last hit, and then right about here I notice. Right about here, I know my team is coming because they're right above Taric, right? Taric's up there, and my team's coming down. So I'm gonna E across. And thing is, I don't know if we're going for Caitlyn or going for Taric. I want to damage Caitlyn, but I want the slow beam to end up at the wall. I want to make sure I slow Taric as well. So we play it out, right? And I get the slow across, and now look, Taric has to walk through a big slow beam. And because I was so afraid of my lane, I actually have 3 points in slow. So it's actually pretty powerful right here. And so we play it out, right? And I just look for what I can focus. I run forward. I see I can hit Caitlyn, and Zed comes in as well, so we get some damage. And now it's just time for the ult game. Now all I want to do is auto attack and ult and hit Caitlyn and just lead her. She can't run back. She will not juke a single ultimate because she runs into Zed and me, and she won't. So all I have to do is aim in front of her. Very, very easy to hit. Just land the basic attacks. I put some damage into Taric, but that's not important either. But again, you have to remember that whenever you can, if it doesn't overextend you, go ahead and take a fight if it's available. So Taric actually defends the turret, and all I do is just deal damage from safety, and it ends up working out really, really well. So he comes up to me, he wastes his stun, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll just slow beam you, and I'll just start comboing out. And with the Janna shield, I actually do a heck of a lot of damage, and it's just a very easy pickup. And that's a lot of damage he's not expecting. And it's because Kog'Maw's ultimate does so much to champions early on that people don't expect that much damage output. And with the slow beam and everything else, it just stops him from getting to do much. So that's a pretty easy pickup. And so now I'm just pushing the turret down. Whenever you can, it's worth killing the turret. In fact, I want to wait until I can buy a BF sword, ideally. That's what I really am trying to get here. And I'm about, 80 gold short of that one. After this last hit, I'm pretty close. I'm 35 gold away. And at this point, I'm just going to sell a potion, and pick it up. So, try to bank up for a BF sword. It's really important you get one. And there we go. So I get that. So we'll skip forward till I get back into lane. We're going towards dragon. That's wonderful. All right, so I run down, and now it's just time for dragon. We have control. We have a pink ward on it. Their bottom lane is scared. And this is also one of the things that happens when you push a turret down and you push the wave right after it. You can see the minions down here. Well, I should probably start moving the mouse. But at the very bottom of the map, you can see that Caitlyn is stuck farming a minion wave near her turret that she has to defend, basically, which gives us map control over dragon. Their AD carry and support can't show up. They're also far away, so they can't show up easily. And again, they're tired of doing things. So it's a pretty easy pickup there. I'm going to go ahead and last hit some more minions. We ping towards their jungle. We don't see anyone, though, so I can just go back and last hit some more. I wave clear. It's very easy to wave clear minions as Kog'Maw. If you want to just sort of clear and get out, it's not hard to do. I lead her with an ultimate. She turns around. Smart choice. But now Janna's behind her, so we get a fight. So she puts the slowdown, and I just start going for damage output. And the thing is, like, she can't go in on Janna easily. I'm just getting damage. I hit a trap, though, which is a mistake. And I actually screw up right here because I cleansed the trap instead of cleansing Taric's stun. So I miss out on damage right there and ended up picking up the Caitlyn kill. That was a total misplay. I didn't notice that I hit the trap. I didn't notice the trap was there, so I walked onto it. I also whiffed the ultimate. She turned back onto it, but Elise is going to get this kill here. So at least we get that, and then we can turn it back around. So yeah, misplaying crowd control is pretty bad, obviously. And whatever, we still get like 2 for 1, I think. Yeah, there we go. All right, so that worked okay. Kha'Zix shows my teammates fighting is actually no big deal what happens there. I just come back down. I just need to go support my team. So, great. All right, I'm back in lane. So all I'm trying to do, right, is just go back to lane and farm, back to lane and farm, back to lane and farm. Because it's solo queue, it's very uncoordinated. There's not a lot of places it's easy for me to roam. You don't want to put pressure on a lane if you're going to miss out on minions, because you don't always win if you put pressure on a turret. You don't always get the turret, right? They can oftentimes defend it. But you're guaranteed to last at all these minions, basically, or at least most of it. You're guaranteed to Right, you're guaranteed to get all this gold and all this experience and get caught up in levels and all that fun stuff. And again, as Kog'Maw, you really want to scale throughout the game. So I'm just wave clearing whenever I can, and now I finally have max rank W. And teamfights haven't even started yet. So I put a bunch of early points in E. I was afraid, and here we are now, and I'm able to put points in Bioarcane Barrage. So that's all happy. But again, I push out the bottom lane. It's unsafe for me to be in that far. There's too many paths for them to take to gank me, so I head right back out. I look for some ults to put onto Caitlyn. Don't find him. No big deal. Just dealing some damage again. And now we start doing other things in the map because, all right, bottom's pushing. It's going to be going up to their turret soon. They have to react fairly soon. And I just look for damage, right? I'm trying to hit Caitlyn. I lead with the ulti. She goes down. And I'm just trying to position and fight. Right, stun comes out from Taric, and again, as long as I run back properly, I'm still safe at all times. And okay, that one hurt a lot actually. I have to kite away from Jace, and again, right, I noticed that I'm far away from anyone being able to touch me, so I do the exact same thing. So that fight's pretty intuitive. I'll play over it one more time because I think teamfight mechanics are the most important thing for an AD carry. I look for ult harass, no big deal there. Nothing special has happened. They get some damage output, and then right, the fight kind of starts here. I look for damage on Caitlyn because Caitlyn's overextended, and then here's the real battle. Okay, so they're looking for release. I'm mostly safe here. I put the slow field down. Now I don't know if putting the slow field down then immediately using W is the right call. I've heard actually you turn on W and use that. When W ends, you put down the slow field and you kite off the slow field because you have so little range you need to kite with it. I don't really know how to do that properly, but my W's on, I put the slow field down, I hit most of their team, I'm going to start battling. And Caitlyn right here is available, so I start hitting her. And it's just very, very easy. Again, I try to weave in the ultimate so you can see my ult's on cooldown. It's stacked twice, means I've cast it twice in this burst. And Caitlyn's going to fall right here. This is a dead Caitlyn. But at this point, I'm at half health, and I'm not going to go face take a Taric. I'm not going to face take a Jace. I'm going to run backwards. So we get the kill on Kate. I run away. You can see I kite back, get stunned, hurts a little bit. And again, now I'm safe again. So let's look at the battle again. Kha'Zix just died. I had to see Jason Taric. We got 2 kills. We're in pretty good shape. My team is here. I'm going to go back in and fight some more. So I go in, look for some damage. Can't dive the turret. Shock Blast comes out, and I'm like, crap. I have to put the goo down. I have to slow, and I have to run away from Jace and hope he doesn't catch me. So I run back. I kite. He gives up. I go back in. I go back in, and then I realize, no, I'm still afraid. I look for some ult damage. Okay, nothing's available. So I prioritized my safety first. I did not greed for any kills. Because the thing is, if you greed for a kill as an AD carry, you will probably die to get that kill. Almost always you will die or lose flash or a whole bunch of stuff to get that kill. Thing is, if you have someone at 12 health, they're out of the fight. They're gone. They cannot defend anymore. Right? So you could either have a full health you and a no health Zem, which means that you're in a team fight and they're not, or you could have you both dead. And that doesn't help anyone. So instead, what you usually want to try to do is let them get out of the fight, get the kill if you can, but go take the turret afterwards or something else, right? Like that middle turret is gone. I think it was dead already, but whatever. Even in general, with that fight, we could go push that middle turret down because they were all dead and everything. So when you have blue buff, you can actually play Kog'Maw a little bit differently. You can use your ult a whole lot more. You can do a lot more damage, and you can pretty much just spam. Especially when you're farming, just feel free to spam. Because then you wave clear even faster, you risk even less hits getting missed, and it's just very easy to get rid of everything. So 2 ults and an E is normally what it takes. At this point, I have blue buff, so I just spam even more, not a big deal, and I just do plenty of damage. This is just easy. Look at that. I can push one more wave. Typically, you can push a wave that's not behind their turret. You're usually able to do that. It's usually pretty easy. But I just clear that out, and then I head right back up. So that's been pushed. Now Caitlyn has to deal with that wave, and I'm going to go make a move again. And this is kind of the recipe you want to rinse and repeat. Because if someone freezes the lane, right, especially if an AD carry freezes the lane, they do not have team fight pressure. Now, if they have the right kind of champions who can wave clear, like they have like Kha'Zix Twisted Fate or like a Nasus and things like that, and they can wave clear, then maybe you don't get to put this pressure down. But right here, Caitlyn's bottom. We get a free pick on the Taric, a bunch of damage there, right? There's the stun, we force his flash, and look, now we have turret pressure. Look how afraid they are, we get to kill their turret. Elise, of course, actually just found a whole bunch of damage and got to kill Kha'Zix, or kill Taric, but even in general, look, right? You can see we get pressure on their turret, they weren't ready for this, we get a bunch of damage, Amumu gets caught out, another free kill, still more pressure on the turret. And this is actually a really hectic fight, a bunch of random things happen, but again, it all comes back to going for the turret, picking that down. Hey, great, I roamed, we got a turret kill. Janna lives with 12 health. I look for ult snipes onto Jace. I miss them, but I have blue buff and I'm looking for damage trying to kill off Caitlyn. I super actually misplay this. My W times out right then, and I just get super dunked. I super misplay that one. Nothing really special happened in this fight. It was more just me getting owned. But I look for Jace. I actually think I get him here. No, okay, he flashes. So that's one thing is I was pretty screwed, and I noticed that Jace came in from the side, so I said, well, I know I won't kill Kha'Zix, I'll look for Jace. I made him flash. Um, but yeah, so my flash is super late against Caitlyn. Screwed that one up. Um, Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, I think is the ideal build for Kog'Maw. I think it makes the most sense in 99% of games. But this game is now close, right? It's 18 to 17. The kill score is almost tied. Janos gets completely exploded, which is just, a fed Kha'Zix that does that. You notice that I actually also went toward the Zeal first instead of picking up a Cloak of Agility. Because I actually want to finish Zeal as soon as possible. It's actually very, very important that I do that. Because I need to make sure that I have that extra movement speed to survive a fight. It's actually very, very important that Kog'Maw has mobility because he has no other tools for movement at all, and that's very, very important. You'll notice that here, unlike before when I had blue buff, I didn't spam ult twice right away. I waited till the ult timer ticked down and then went for it because mana is a bit of a premium here, and I don't really want to spam too much when looking for kills. So you can see the same thing here. I'm not trying to spam too much when last hitting. I will do it here just because it's pretty easy. Because he actually turned my auto attacks towards them. I missed a couple last hits, but I E and then I ER and then I use auto attacks. So unfortunately I wasn't in mid lane and the enemy team picked up a bunch of kills there. That's not good for us. So I have to go back and buy. Again, I shoved out the bottom lane just like I did the entire rest of the game. I push down, get it past their turret, and now the bottom is going to start pushing. And it's going to put out a lot of aggression, put out a lot of pressure, and it's going to be rough for them. So I show up for the mid lane, trying to defend the turret. Problem is, Kha'Zix is crazy, does a whole bunch of damage, I have to run back from him. So again, there's nothing I can really fight here. I see a Mumu gets a free pick as well. I have to cleanse out, and I just have to run. There's nothing I can do here. I run away, and I run away. And I don't get to do anything. So, alright, I'm just sitting towards the back. And I just, again, have to be defensive and wait this one out. So, okay, so stuck here, right? Trying to not die. They can't easily siege against a Kog'Maw. I'm just playing defensive. And I say, hey, I want blue. So Kog'Maw, again, works really, really well with blue. His windows for attacking are pretty small when W is up, because it's like 6 seconds up, 17 seconds down, which is a lot. But with blue buff, you actually cut 3.4 seconds off of the W downtime. So instead of 6 to 17, it's 6 to 14, which is it's actually less than 14, 6 to like 13 and a half. And remember that half of that 13 and a half is the 6 seconds where it's on. So you actually get basically half uptime instead of like 1/3 uptime, which is pretty massive. Once again, there's nothing on the map to do. I can't really farm any lanes. Riven's up top, bottom's just where it is. Mid has a Taric there, so I'm just going to buy another dagger and then group up again because it's time for another team fight. We're down 3 kills, but I'm pretty big. We're just looking for a team fight at this point, right? I haven't been able to do anything and have an impact in the game. I participated in some fights, I dealt some damage, tried to defend, but ultimately I didn't get into a fight 3v5 or 2v5. I didn't try to greed and like say, oh, I can save everyone. It's like, no, you really can't. As an AD carry, you're at the mercy of your team. Fight around your team. Don't fight around yourself. Sorry, lifesteal up. Flash, almost the stun comes out from Elise. Whatever, just last hitting. There's still a fight, still to come. So I just take minions, right? We get a pink ward, we wave clear Baron. This is good for us. Wave clear, we ward clear Baron. And so now we can basically bait out a Baron fight. And so we know that they have to react to us. Riven's coming down. We have pink ward control. This is a very very textbook move. Look, they've moved forward. We can go in on this. So the stun unfortunately misses, but we get a lot of damage onto Kog'Maw, and consequently we get him out of the fight. And now I can just chain ults onto Taric because there's no one there on their team to protect against me. I just lead Taric around and get him with 3 ults really, really easy. But now I'm worried about my mana. I have to stop ulting. I put an E down for a slow. We find damage onto a Mumu. That's an easy pickup as well. Okay, no big problem. Now we reset. We have to take stock of what's going on. And I see Kha'Zix. Now what I'm going to do here is just wait, right? I have a bunch of mana regen. He doesn't see me. And I put everything down at the same time, and he gets exploded. So notice that I went ER press W, move forward. E has a farther travel time at max rank than the R's drop. Also, you see R drop, you don't see E travel forward, so there's nothing special there. So now again, here's a fight, and I say, okay, I want Caitlyn, but I don't want to spam too many buttons yet because I need to get a slow onto her, so I actually flash for the E and everything. I just land basic attacks. I look for the ulti, that leads properly, and I get another kill picked up. So, again, I just look to lead with my ulti. I like to try to snipe the kills out. Riven's in a rough spot. She actually gets dropped as well. But again, all I have to do is lead with my ulti, and he can't turn back because he'll get killed by me. He tries anyway. And so I get all 5 right there. Let's replay that fight because, again, fight mechanics are really important. We look to bait out Baron, right? So we camp in the brush, we camp in Fog of War. And what I'm going to do here is wait. I actually don't go for the first target that I see because I know they can't see us, right? They can't see us. Watch. Taric is here. We could hit Taric, but why would I focus Taric? We have Kha'Zix right here. Now, Kha'Zix gets lucky and actually dodges Elise's stun, but all I'm trying to do is ER, W, and auto attack him. So watch this play out, right? ER, auto attacks, I get a lot of damage, he jumps the wall. Okay, so Kha'Zix is gone. Next target, I will fight Taric. Now, Amumu's up here in the top left corner, but Amumu is isolated. He can't go in on us right here. Kha'Zix, their main damage threat is gone. So it's just, let's hit Taric. And I can actually greed on Taric a little bit here because I'm Kog'Maw. I'm really safe. I have a lot of range, right? Kha'Zix shoots his stuff out there, no big deal. I see Caitlyn right there, no big deal. I move forward. Repel comes out. Again, I just lead Taric with the ulti. I see Caitlyn is still running. Kha'Zix has already burned Leap. He can't jump me. Amumu's up there as well. He can't jump me. I'm safe. Their 2 really big threats that disrupt me are off the map, can't fight, and Caitlyn is running away. So I'm safe here. I lead with ulti. I land one. I keep looking. I lead with ulti. That's going to land. No big deal. Now Jace is entered. I know Jace is down here. I can't go and chase Kate. This is Kate Jace down at the bottom. I cannot go this way. Instead, I need to go rejoin my fight. Now, to be fair, if Jace were closer, I might have out-greeted myself, because if Jace were actually right there for the fight, if he acceleration gated Taric away, if he showed up and melee queued me, and then Caitlyn showed up afterwards, this would have been a bad move. I didn't know where Jace was, and it's actually a bit of a mistake. If Jace were there, this would have been bad news. But anyway, now that I know Jace is there, again, I leave, I go left, I join my team. So move over to the left-hand side, Amumu pops his ulti, of course I'm not there with them, and I look, again, to press E. I'm not ulting, even if I had it, I wouldn't press it, it costs too much mana. I put down the slow zone, I put some damage there, put on the W, land the basic attacks, pretty easy kill pickup. Okay, so, Jace and Caitlyn still down below there, no big deal. I want to run back up towards Baron, because I don't want to run through Fog of War. We have no idea where they are. Jace and Kate have good burst, Janna's low, we don't have an easy team fight here, so I want to leave. I'm just going to go up. And I happen to get lucky and I find Kha'Zix. So, blue buff is gone. Riven runs down, and now I see Kha'Zix. So again, I explained it last time, but here's what I try to do. He does not know I'm here, right? We pinked Baron. He does not know that I'm here, and he doesn't know that we see him. This is not a very likely ward. So I have time. I have time to burst him down. And knowing that he is Kha'Zix, he might have ult, he might have leap, he might have the W to slow me. He might have any of these tools that would disengage and make me burn flash to kill him. I don't want to do that. So what I have here is enough mana to press E, R, and W. I have those spells. And I want to hit him from here. I want to hit him from across the wall because I am in Fog of War. He cannot see me here. And again, the way that Kog'Maw works is E travels, and R just flies from the sky with no variance in travel time. So I know from playing Kog'Maw that if I press E, then press R, they'll land at the same time. So I want to ER, press W, walk forward from Fog of War, start hitting him. And that's what I'm going to do. So I wait, I get the shield, ER, W, attack, he's gone. He tries to run, but he's stuck in a slow zone. Even if he leaped, I would have gotten the attack in time. So easy kill pick up there. I start wave clearing top because we don't have enough people to kill Baron, but then I realize, oh, we're still fighting. I did not realize that would actually happen. So now I've got to look at this fight. Okay, so Caitlyn. I don't have a way of getting rid of Caitlyn here. If I E, she jumps over the wall, no problem. I'm not in range to W. My W doesn't slow anyway because I don't have red buff. All I can really do is walk at her and hope to find an opening when she walks across the wall. If she walks across the wall, I can E down right here and catch her in the slow zone. So she goes down. I flash in, and I just put down the E, and I just get damage output at this point, right? She tries to run. Again, I get another auto attack down. My ulti is available. I have blue buff now, so I can spam my ultimate. And I just get an easy snipe right there. She can't turn around. I get the easy pickup. So now I'm just trying to cut off Jace, because I know that Jace can't beat me. So I'm just trying to cut off Jace, come up here and kill him. But Riven has other plans, so does Jace. Jace goes to wave clear, and Riven actually gets a little bit outplayed. So she's like, oh crap, Jace is scary. Shield times out, and he picks her up. But now, Jace can't run down, he can't run right, he can only run left, and all I need to do is just lead him. Like, if I make him turn around twice, I'm in range for basic attacks. All I want to do is R to the left of him and make him turn around. So I R to the side, he turns, it won't matter. So I pick up the kill. So that's actually 5 kills in that team fight. I'm now 8, 3, and 3. It was a good team fight for our team overall. Um, all right, so now again we have control Baron. And this is just going to be kind of easy, right? Like, it's a Baron kill. Baron kills aren't very hard. I just run on W and I start auto-attacking. I have enough for Phantom Dance when I get back to base. I'm just dealing damage. My W times out. I put down a bunch of punishment on a Taric. I do cleanse it. I probably shouldn't have. I was afraid of Kha'Zix, didn't need to be. Kha'Zix jumps in. Thankfully, we do last hit it. That was a good job by Elise. Kha'Zix has to run away. Again, I just look for the punishment on a Taric. Easy ults to land. When you have blue buff, you just do so much damage as Kog'Maw because you can ult people. Good pick up by Zed. Now I see Caitlyn, and instead of chasing a Mumu, I have to be aware of Caitlyn. I hide in the brush. She can't engage on me. Wait for my team. Again, I can go back in. That was actually a pretty easy fight. That was just simply, I turned for Taric, forced him away. Again, land the ult on a Mumu. Pretty easy pickups here. Good stun from Elise, and we picked that one up. Okay, so again, another easy fight. Now I see Jace. I don't get to find anything on him though. So we don't really chase in. I clear off the Wraith camp. Bottom. Now I look at the minimap and notice that bottom has a big wave. You need to look at the minimap whenever a fight ends. Whenever a fight is over, look at the minimap. First thing you do. First thing you do is look at the minimap, because when you win a fight or lose a fight or whatever a fight, what's available to your team? Oh, they have no one to defend. Push bottom, free turret. Okay, we're screwed. I'm 1v4. They're going to push mid no matter what. Oh, but I can push bottom and make someone defend. Great, I'll push bottom instead. Look for where there are openings. Look at the map anytime a fight is done and see if there's something you can take for free. Always look for that. It's very, very important you do that. So now we're back to equal or good in kills. We're good in turrets. We've only lost the 2 mid lane turrets, and that's it. The other lanes are perfectly healthy. We've taken all 6 of their outer and secondary turrets. We're up a Baron. We're up a couple dragons. Okay, so we're winning. But one thing to keep in mind is that most of the gold is on me. I have 9 of our team's kills. If I don't do well in a fight, we won't do very well. Like, that's one thing to consider. Like, when you have a game where it's like, man, we're up 20-10, but I'm 15-0, your team is 5-10. If you do not fight well, your team will lose the battle on individual gold. Then maybe you win turns, maybe you win something else. But again, I have to do well myself. I lead the ulti there. I'm just trying to deal free damage. All I'm trying to do is just deal free damage. I check for their blue. Unfortunately, it is not up. But R does reveal when you cast it, so you can use that to reveal buffs. And again, we're just gonna clear out this mid lane again. Zed gets most of it. No big deal. All right, so we're gonna play the siege game. And the siege game is very difficult. As Kog'Maw, it can be tough because sometimes you want to use your W to hit a turret because you want to deal good damage there. Because it gives you 700 something range, it makes you nice and happy, and lets you siege the turret. But at the same time, you want it for the enemy champions, for the team fight, if they dive you. So I look to ult people, right? I'm just looking for poke. I have Baron buff, which is some mana regen. I clear out the minions as soon as possible. You can see I spend a lot of time basic attacking them. I look for damage into Caitlyn, don't quite find it. And I just want to make sure we fight this battle properly. I'm playing safe. I haven't even gotten to hit the turret because they wave clear so well. Because Caitlyn is now here, she wave clears. But we get the stun onto Jace, and I ult, I W, and we get the kill right away. I jump in off the cocoon. I don't overextend. I just hit RWE, and that lets me hit from 800 range, and I deal free damage. Now I look for Caitlyn. Now I look for a Mumu, and I'm just dealing free damage from across the wall. But now my W is timed out. I can't hit from across the wall anymore. But at this point, they've overextended. I get a pretty easy battle. I de-aggro from turret, and I just kind of walk in. At this point, we're pretty much fine. I finally dropped turret aggro. And this is just over at this point. I'm pretty massive. I'm 10-3 and 6. We killed the inhibitor. We find our in, and we get the win. So I don't think they actually defend us at this point. I think we just get to kill their base. I get the slow zone, actually land it onto a Mumu, so I get a bunch of free damage. Another kill picked up. Right, being able to lead people with slow zone is really useful in Kog'Maw. It can give your team a lot of kills. And of course, I'm just a huge fed Kog'Maw at this point. So it doesn't really matter what they do. I can duel any one of them. So I focus the Nexus, don't risk the game, kill Jace real quick, pick up that KDA, and there we go, Nexus goes down. So that was a little sort of how-to on the thought processes on playing The Kog'maw of doing well there. I'll pause here and point out. And that was actually two of me because I'm cool like that. But you can see, right, 13,000 gold, 190 minions. Like I just tried to farm. I didn't farm amazingly because 28 minutes, 200 is not great. But I shoved, then I roamed and looked for a fight, then I shoved and looked for a fight. I'm gonna go cover my face right now because that just is weird. Um, but all I tried to do there was just look for a fight over and over again, um, and take down my opponents. So yeah, that's a how-to on Kog'Maw. Hopefully you guys liked it. I hope to do some more of these in the future in general, but I think I'm going to resume with my regular stream now and play the video games. So yeah, let me put this back.